Send those villain to Hades. Here with the ladies. A stallion in the sack.
Is that actually the sound effect of it?
No. Wouldn't that
Just
be
Robbie Williams on the
amazing?
mic going, he sounds like, not sure if it's a horse or Scooby-Doo.
A dog in the sack. Open audition and make a new track. I hit reduce reverb to stop the feedback. There is a danger I can peek for you, or hear the outside noise of the adjoining room. Fifth period about films that we're screening. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Fifth Period, the film podcast hosted by two media teachers, where today you're probably wondering what film we're doing. But if I told you that, I'm afraid I'd have to kill you. My name is Mr. Brown, and with me as always is...
Boylan. Mr. Boylan.
Nice. I like that. That's one of your best.
Thank you.
If we did a montage of all of them, I think that one would have to...
It's up there?
To maybe close it out.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess I'm done then.
This
This is my
walk out
last
on a high
Fifth
note.
period. That's fine.
In addition to our main discussion of Johnny English today, we will also be talking about our 5 favorite spy films of all time. So if you want to skip ahead to that segmente, I will leave time codes in the description below.
Jeez, that's catching on.
Hey, it's Liam. Today we're chatting about Johnny English.
Thank you to Liam for his intro to the pod today. Now, I don't teach Liam. You introduced me to him last week.
No, I do have the significant fortune of teaching Mr. Liam for his first...
Mr. Liam.
Mr.
That's
Liam.
very like Basil
Liam,
Brush.
Mr. Liam. One of our Year 7 students, and he's been a pleasure to have in the class. He's
nice.
He's just a lovely kid, but he's a really, really good media student, Mr. Brown. He's comes up with really good ideas. He works well with everybody else, and his infomercial was absolutely rock solid. Best in the class, I would say.
Ooh, big call.
Yes,
hope,
big call.
I hope the rest of the class isn't listening to this.
Oh, well, that's... Yeah, I was really excited to have Liam come to Film Club for the first time. Even more happy that he was able to get on in the intro and introduce himself to you as well.
Nice. Well, thank you very much for that, Liam.
Cheers, Liam.
Alrighty, let us jump into Johnny English. So we start things off with a bit of a daydream sequence. He's
Classic spy cold open.
Oh, I love it. I really, really enjoy this. I like that this is kind of how he sees himself.
Yes.
One of the best things about his performance in this film, like Rowan Atkinson for me has 2 reoccurring roles that he does. One of them is just like a bumbling idiot, a buffoon, the Mr. Bean type character.
Yep.
And the other one is in some of the seasons of Blackadder, he is like the smarmy one with all the sarcastic comments, while everyone else around him is like the bumbling character.
Gotcha.
Why, the public love me. Only the other day I was out in the street and they sang, "We hail Prince George! We hail Prince George!"
We hate Prince George. We hate Prince George.
And the beauty of this role is those two become one, and he really is like overly confident with what he is doing, despite the fact that he's making so many mistakes.
Oh, yeah.
And
This is powering through.
Exactly right, but I just love how we kick things off with his version of what he'd be like as a spy.
Yeah, the fact that he's got like the dog toys. Squeak, squeak. Just the look on his face, or even like, oh, Heckler and Koch G36. It's like lethal in the right hands, and then very quickly just gets rid of them. And then, of course, you can't have a spy cold open without an encounter with a bit of a damsel in distress, or potentially a femme fatale.
It is
looks
more
like.
a femme fatale type, hey.
And he was able to put on the English charm, the Agent 1 charm.
The way he like raises his eyebrow too.
He raises his eyebrow. He's got some great eyebrow raisers in
Good
this film.
facial expressions all around, I reckon.
Yep, and then very quickly, before I guess things get interesting for Johnny, he's very quickly back to reality, and it definitely did feel like a bit of a Bond cold open, which is definitely no coincidence, given the fact that the film's actually written by Neil Purvis and Robert Wade. There's another writer on that, but Neil Purvis and Robert Wade did The World Is Not Enough, Die Another Day, and all of the Craig Bond films as well. Worked working on those. So you can definitely tell there's a bit of world is not enough, die another day kind of energy across here.
Yeah. The parody is awesome. It's really, really good. We talked about this. I think we've talked about this film quite a few times on the pod, but we talked about it when we were talking our top parodies of all time as well. Just really, really well done because it doesn't just feel like it's taking the piss, it feels like a real homage as well.
Yeah, which is that perfect sweet spot that we like.
Yeah.
Definitely helped by we've got a really good score as well. I really love the themes in this. And it comes back in 20,000 varieties, as all the good themes do, but it was scored by Edward Shermer, who did Cruel Intentions, both Charlie's Angels films, and of course, Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow.
Of course. So when he comes out of the daydream, did you notice his outfit in the office in that first sequence? It's just his Mr. Bean outfit.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's got like the beige kind of vibe, or the tweed sort of vibe, yeah.
Yeah, he's there with Boff, and Agent One comes in, and just a smooth 007 type, takes his coat off and throws it, very reminiscent of Sean Connery throwing his hat onto the coat rack.
Yep.
Just really, really nice
Oozing
introduction.
confidence, yes.
And I love how much he adores him. And you can see it, like, he's joking around with him, but then when he says he'd have to kill him, he's like, ha ha ha, and then, like, chases him out. Cheerio! He's so...
Bon chance.
So much
Arrivederci.
admiration.
Such class. But Johnny was in charge of giving, it's basically the mission briefing for Agent One, including the submarine hatch codes, which he's checked himself. But unfortunately, they're not the right codes. And then we cut to Agent One being announced as dead.
Yeah, just text on the screen over the top of his
submarine
funeral.
door didn't open.
Just great. It's kind of the first of many jokes in this film where, as an audience, we're let in on something and we get a bit of an understanding of what's about to happen before it does.
Yes.
And we get another one following up very quickly after this where Johnny English is explaining the fact that all the other agents, all the greatest agents, have come to this one location.
Because it's like, well, who's going to step up and take Agent One's place?
Yes.
And then the boss comes in and is just like...
You're now entering the most secure location in the whole of England.
in the background, and just his face being like, oh, God.
It's the combination of the face, the music, and then you just hear a cow go in the background. It's just... really good, and it's so clever to really emphasize how they're in charge of the security for it so that we as an audience know, oh, well, obviously something's going to go bad.
Yep.
So, yeah, Agent One's coffin blows up and takes pretty much all of the agents with them.
Not MI6, MI7.
Correct.
Or even better than MI6.
But luckily, there is one who survived. Oh, eye on the shadows, protecting his fellows. So yes, Pegasus and the Prime Minister are down to their last agent, Johnny, and he gets bumped right up the ranks, and we get a brilliant montage of him getting ready for his first day in the field.
So good, and obviously the song that you and I had both a good time singing in film club.
Oh yeah, and we're singing it again before we started recording today.
It's a banger.
It's so catchy.
It's so catchy. Obviously with Robbie Williams providing the dulcet tones, and he worked with Hans Zimmer on this.
Is that right?
Which is
I
crazy.
did not know that.
What a collab.
Yeah.
A man for all seasons.
But it's a really nice montage of like a little bit of training, a little bit of getting ready. He's like strangling the coat rack with his tie. We get a nice Bond nod with the Aston Martin as well. Really, really good.
Arming up with the guns.
Yes.
And then we get our first there's no trigger there with the gun. And there's quite a few gun gags in this film.
About everything that can go wrong with that gun does go wrong.
Yeah, with any gun really, but particularly that gun. So we get the Robbie Williams banger coming to an end as Johnny strides in with purpose.
Yes.
He's burdened with great purpose. Great porpoise.
Porpoise,
into Pegasus' office, ready for a meeting, and just piffs his coat, and it's out the window and causes a massive pileup.
Yeah, it's just the sound effect of the car like swerving.
And he's kind of like,
yeah.
Not off to a good start, Johnny.
It's one of many times where he tries to imitate something that Agent One has done, and it just backfires.
He's like, that's not how that usually goes.
Yeah.
I'm not Agent One. Crazy. I'm Johnny English.
But we see him admiring the old service ballpoint, and you click it twice and then knocks out Pegasus's secretary.
Yes. And then immediately Pegasus walks in and is like, oh, she stepped out.
Yeah, and the
Just
little
shuffle.
shuffle to cover her up. Brilliant. Something I like about like the pens and the gadgets, we don't get too many gadgets in this film, but I like the idea of watching older James Bond films and looking at older tech that's supposed to be high tech.
Yep.
So you're like, oh, it's an exploding pager, but it's like, but no one's using a pager anymore. And I found the part where Pegasus brings up his TV for the briefing, and it's like so high tech. Look at it, remote coming up, but it's just a big old box TV.
Classic.
Pretty good.
Very 2003.
So he basically briefs him, and he wants Johnny to head up security for the unveiling of the newly restored crown jewels.
And then just as Pegasus is, secretary is getting attended to, and it's just like, and he starts to turn around and be like, who is the sponsor?
And it's Pascal Sauvage. And Johnny is not shy about his hatred of Pascal and just the French in general. That flouncy Frenchman, he hates him.
He hates the French.
He does.
He really, really does. But yeah, we get Pegasus as well. Really good acting pedigree. That's Tim Pigott-Smith, who's great. Obviously in the old Clash of the Titans, but Gangs of New York, and I definitely know him from V for Vendetta, which would be released, 2 to 4 years after this thing, V for Vendetta, like 2005, 2007.
Yep.
Yeah, and he's really good in that too. But yeah, he's just carries such presence as like the M-type character, basically.
Yeah.
I think is great.
So basically Johnny's overseeing operations for the event.
So it's going to go well.
Yeah, of course. Bit of Boff appreciation. I just love
Shout out to
his
Boff.
unwavering support for him.
Shall I mingle with you, sir? Oh, yes, Bob.
Yeah, but I really love the fact that like we're barely 9.5 minutes into this film and it's just bang straight into the action.
Yeah.
The pacing of this film is great.
There is
doesn't
no
let up.
messing around.
No, it's very lean and great, which is fun narratively and it keeps things moving. And we also like it to cover in Film Club, which is great.
Absolutely.
Love it tight and hearty.
He's trying to mingle and be nonchalant. Goes around looking under vases and fluffing curtains.
And then he accidentally fluffs someone's dress.
Yeah. Oh, and help behind the curtain.
Help. Yeah, after he's sort of checked in with security, so we know that there is security there that has been organised by him.
Yep.
But he's a bit distracted with the flouncing because he's keeping an eye on
Lorna Campbell.
Lorna Campbell, pleasure to meet ya.
Hello yourself, mate, she says to him.
That's Natalie Imbruglia.
And boy, is she going ocker for this.
She's going ocker. And I was just like, I was thinking about the performance. It's just like, does it sort of fit in with the rest of the film? Does it not? And I guess I was a bit torn with it, so...
Good. What a banger of a track that is.
It is.
I tell you what I really liked about that joke. How off the cuff it was. Clearly it hadn't been pre-written.
No, I didn't write it down, but it was just like he just said like.
How do I get there?
Just like the little twinkling of the smile coming through. It's like, oh, I've got a good one here, guys. We're ready? Are you ready? Here's the joke. That's how we do things. But
tries to imitate Agent 1 again and says, I'm afraid if I told you that, I'd have to kill you.
I'd like to see you try,
cobber.
I'd like to see you try. I'm Natalie Imbruglia.
I'd like to see you try.
We finally meet Pascal Sauvage.
Yes.
Takes too long, I
Nice,
reckon.
like, haunting theme to bring him in as well.
Yes.
Like, twinkling like little harpsichord in the background. Love that. Makes him a bit more ominous and clearly setting him up as something a little bit off about this guy, despite him being a friend to the royal family, as Pegasus already introduced.
And very friendly to Johnny when he first meets him as well.
Considering what Johnny is about to say, because...
he mistakes him for a waiter, which I think is fair enough. Rewatching it last night.
He's wearing that jacket.
Yeah, the waiter looks pretty similar to him in terms of like the haircut. He's never met Pascal, and she asked him about it. He's like, no, thank
heavens.
God. I think I'd rather have my bottom impaled on a cactus than exchange pleasleasantries with that jumped up Frenchman.
It's like Pascal Sauvage. Jumped up Frenchman. And let's see if I can go fetch those cheesy niblets.
No, really? No, please.
Oh. Just the guy.
But then like him kind of laughing it off. Le français, very, n'est-ce pas?
And then we go quickly to speech time from Pascal, who we shall say as well is incredibly well played by John Malkovich, who is loving. I mean, I've never watched an interview like with him talking about this film because I don't think he comes back in the sequels or anything.
He certainly does not.
Shame, but he looks like he's having a really good time with this character.
Jewels will rest safely.
After all, the French are the best waiters in the world. But yeah, he's doing a speech just talking about the restoration of the jewels. Doesn't really get too far until the lights mysteriously go out and Johnny springs into action very quickly.
Yeah, he bashes who he thinks is an assailant.
With a hydro flask.
Yes, and it's actually the guy in charge of security for the event.
And it's like, oh my God.
The assailant! He ran in here!
And then this is comfortably one of the best scenes in the movie where Johnny
brought it up last week with Charade.
It's just so good, like, the way that they cover... He's like, I need to cover all of my bases to make it seem like there's an assailant in here. So the fact that he's like just pretending to have a fight basically with himself. This guy's a maniac!
And he's just got some ketchup there.
Yeah, the fact that he gets like a mandarin shoved in his mouth, he's pushing the chair off, and the way they cut to him like basically just doing it himself is just fantastic.
But what's better is that when he finishes, he just closes the door and no one follows up on it.
Everyone's like,
well done.
Oh my God, look at that Heinz blood smear on your cheek, on the bottom lip.
He thinks everything's all good, but...
just struts over. He's almost like, dap me up, royal family.
We haven't had a dap moment in a while.
No.
And types in the code, display opens up, and, ooh, where are the jewels? The Queen's voice.
Whoa, where are the jewels?
Where are the jewels?
Ooh.
Sounds like a Monty Python character coming in. So, the next day, he's back in Pegasus' office, and we get a fun little moment where the secretary wheels herself in and looks quite scared when she sees him.
Johnny's like, oh, okay. Anyway, moving on. And they need to...
describe the assailant.
Yes, and it's like, big hair colour.
Orange.
He sees the fruit bowls like orange. Curly.
More frizzy.
And then I love the guy who's typing the guy who's typing in is like frizzy.
An eye patch and then
A scar on his cheek.
in the shape of a banana.
Which cheek?
Both cheeks, they sort of met in the middle.
really good.
And then they show like on the screen like
I love
he's like, oh!
so hard. This is one of my favorite moments. His reaction.
It's almost if they're in the room with us. It's just excellent. And then he's just kind of looking at me like, okay. Anyway, so then they drive back with Boff.
To the scene of the crime.
And don't worry about the gadgets, Boff. Focus on the case. And
big old hole in the ground
that Johnny does not notice at all. And the way he's just like, should I drop down?
I think there's one thing that we can be certain of.
He didn't come up through the floor.
So he sends Boff down first, confident that Boff won't get stuck. Of course he does.
Can you see the bottom yet, Boff?
No, I am in fact stuck now, sir.
Oh, goodness sake, I'm coming down. Sir! And then crashes down and is like, I landed on something quite soft.
Oh, that was me, sir.
Oh, very good.
But it's okay, because even though it's pitch black, they can still see the Bedouin monks
of the Al Maghreb Mountains.
Developed a system of sonic chanting.
I see, sir.
However, Boff, you must sing in E flat.
E flat, E flat, E flat, E flat, flat.
Thank you for the music, the songs I'm
singing. Is it working, sir?
Oh, incredibly well, Boff.
Thanks for all the joy.
Ow! Good stuff.
Really good.
Just
really
iconic.
Good.
The Bedouin. I just
Can
love
you tell
the way...
we like this movie?
No, we need to do more.
The over-enunciating. The Bedouin monks
of
and
the Al Maghreb.
Everything he says. So they follow the tunnel, and apparently the guys decided to stick around for a while because they're still loading up the hearse.
Like almost, 14 hours later?
Yeah.
Probably? Jeez,
yeah, they didn't expect them to just follow that tunnel.
No, they're just taking their time. Ooh, nice jewels.
So,
I'm a sassy German villain.
Gunfight ensues.
I mean, I wouldn't call it a gunfight.
Wow, yeah.
I mean, 3 guns
clip
work.
Falls out.
Smoke bomb gets tossed out, and the hearse drivers get out of there and give chase. Unfortunately, they can't drive the car because it's being towed away.
It's a genius move because it makes this chase so much more fun and
silly.
interesting.
Yeah.
There's some really good moments with him climbing into it, like, ooh, ow, as it's moving around. But I love my favorite 2 bits when he blows up the speed camera and he's just like
the arrogance,
rubbing his hand together. And then when Boff drops him onto the back of the trailer
and then
and he has to reverse and flip around and
that was the gift that I sent you about like me driving into like film club today, and it's just like
I love it.
How good am I?
It's a genuinely cool moment.
It's
how
sick.
he like flips off the back of it.
That Rowan
and spins
Atkinson
around.
drove.
Yeah, did he actually?
No,
That would be amazing if he did.
imagine.
Once again, the audience is tipped off to a gag before Rowan Atkinson himself is. We know that there's 2 hearses, one that says dad in the back and one that says mum in the back. And he accidentally goes to the
Follows
dad's
on one.
funeral
'Cause
instead.
there's a break in traffic and he basically joins that one.
The way he's like sitting in the back, bravo, it's very good.
It's very good.
Just holding the gun real loosely.
Yeah.
Like, no, please, go on. Oh, the grieving granny. Real
particular
tears. Did you get paid extra for that?
Oh, you've nailed it down.
Why'd you do that? I know you're going to come back and dig it up anyway.
Dig it up again. Yeah, that's
And
so,
does the little tap dance.
I'm the hearse driver.
you're the
hearse
hearse driver,
driver.
and realizes just that mistake. So because they use this cemetery as well. I forget which Bond movie they use because there's a lot of shared shooting locations.
Yeah, I like
which is
that.
great.
That's a fun detail.
And then thankfully Boff's there to save the day. He's like,
oh, there you are, Gunter.
He's from the lunatic response unit.
What a line.
Yeah, he hasn't urinated on anyone. Oh, that's a blessing.
No. Oh, the van. Yes, we are going in the van.
Brum, yes. Brum, brum. Right, everyone-
And everyone's like, bye, Gunter, as if they've made a new friend.
Yeah, and I love that, like, as they're walking out, that, like, Boff's still going, like, this is the graveyard. This is where dead people are. Okay, give him a Boff, run. It's like, I've completely buggered this up. It's so good. And then we immediately cut to Pascal, who's reveling in his success of... we basically
Stealing
reveal
the
that he
jewels.
has stolen the jewels. I can't believe I've done this.
He goes very German for a lot of his French.
Hell yeah, John Malkovich.
Can't believe I've done this.
Talking about wearing the crown, he's like, yes, no, maybe. And basically wants to be the king because he believes he is the rightful king after kind of his family tree was sort of pushed to the side a little bit. But no, we get the English's home videos. How do they get this?
He's bugged the house, he said, so it's like behind the mirror in his house.
Okay. I was going to say, like, I must have missed that bit. I was like,
But I just love when he's watching it. He's so like camp and flamboyant.
incredibly.
Like, well, the next time he shows up, eliminate him. But it's a really fun scene, like showing him as the camp villain. And I like, tell me, how do you think his plan was going to work? Because his idea was to get the
Archbishop of Canterbury,
a fake Archbishop of Canterbury, to crown him king. But
you still need to get rid of the Queen.
yeah, exactly.
Maybe the Archbishop of Canterbury was...
His first plan getting derailed is a blessing in disguise because his second plan is a lot neater.
Agreed.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a wild plan. I also don't think the Queen just has the authority to turn all of England into a prison.
We'll have to fact check that. Cuts back to MI7 and English and Boff have identified the 2 goons who they encountered. And we've got Dieter Klein and Klaus Vendetta, which is one of the best, like... henchman names I've ever heard.
Completely agree.
So good.
But Pegasus won't entertain the notion that Pascal could be evil.
Despite the fact that he employs these 2 characters.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, but he employs a whole bunch of people. Like,
Exactly.
It's just a coincidence.
And then there's another soiree that Savage is running, and Pegasus says, "I don't want you within 100 miles of the man," or whatever it is.
Yep.
But English is like, "Nah, I want to break in."
Yeah, but before that, they get another attempt on their life in the car park. Did that sound like filch to you? And then another gun malfunction.
Filch?
He says filch.
I don't think it's filch. I think it's felch or something like that.
Come on.
Did that sound like filch to you?
Oh dear, we are in trouble.
Couple of fun moments in this scene. So first you got Johnny trying to signal Boff, and he's like, the worm. No.
And then he's like counting out words like he's playing charades. It's great. And it's upstairs.
But yes, they separate and he tries to sneak up on the henchman
like a coiled viper.
He strikes and
just
Boff
yanks Boff.
So what you're saying, sir, is there must have been 2 of them. Oh, at least, Boff. Maybe
Even
4.
4. Just won't take any acceptance that, hey, I stuffed up.
That's my favorite part about his character, I reckon, that he continually stuffs up and he always just like compounds lies on top of it.
And Bob's like, of course.
Of course, yeah. He lets
Johnny
you get away
English is
with it.
always right. And then they basically like, and then ends up having sushi time with Lorna Campbell.
Yeah. I didn't really have much to say about this scene. It's a bit of fun with him bumbling around, trying to be like flirty, and I don't mind his tie getting stuck in the sushi tray.
I will say though, this scene is directly responsible for how I open a packet of chopsticks now. And has done since I was a kid. I still do that.
Me too.
I still do that. And people are like, why do you do that? And I was like, Johnny English.
To get rid
it's a
of
really
the-
weird thing, like to get rid of like the
splinters. Yeah. No, it makes sense.
That's so good. Thanks, Johnny English.
Yeah.
And
he's a genius.
He is. If he's going to be good at that's how I said, he's no fear, he knows no danger, he knows nothing.
Oh, he knows something.
I mean, but he really copies Lorna Campbell. So technically, he knows nothing, but Lorna Campbell does.
So that night they're on the aircraft carrier thingy. Oh, not an aircraft carrier. They're on the jet, ready to drop into...
It's like a cargo plane, yeah.
Yeah, ready to drop into Savage's office building.
And Boff goes through the plan really
Sir,
distinctly.
your laser beacon.
It's like, Boff. And it's like, your reliance on like hardware absolutely amuses me. It's like, I've been dropped into the Kalahari Desert
with
carrying
nothing but
more than
a toothbrush and a packet of sherbet lemons.
And I still made my fame to Bulawayo before Ramadan. It's just like, what? It's so ridiculous. And Boff's like, of course. And Boff lands like a boss and he's like, Geronimo. And then Johnny's like, Fandango.
I love he's just got the map print out on his wrist. Really good.
Like bloody MapQuest prints out. And it's just nuts. And completely lands on the wrong building, goes to the other side, and oh man,
you and I both think this is our favourite scene, right?
I'd say so.
I just love when he's talking. Savage has got some sort of laboratory set up here.
God knows what kind of sick operation he's running. And then goes in, and it's like, my God, what have they done to you?
They've taken some of my blood.
Bastards.
It's only for tests.
Of course it is.
It's the little laugh that he goes, of course it is. Good evening, Dr. Frankenstein.
This way.
And you angels of death.
Oh
my God.
It's
really
really
good.
excellent. And then basically works out, they're like, it was like, your evil paymaster. And they're like, what? Take me to the office of Pascal Savage. And they're like,
giant Savage written on the building outside.
and then Boff's like,
waves at him.
like really awkwardly.
You're coming over here in a minute, sir.
And then he's like, you've just passed a,
Training exercise.
this is like, and you've all done very,
Very well. Very well indeed. Cuts to him outside.
Oh, God. And then immediately
And then
back.
just pops back in. Instantly has an excuse for Boff, and Boff's just like, yep, cool, very good.
No worries, let's just get to it. That's fine.
So while they're in there, they see the fake Archbishop,
Not really sure what that's about. We'll keep moving.
but they find a tape where Pascal is talking about turning all of England into a giant prison.
Yes, it's the French cousin of Expo Marty. We've got Expo Pascal, who's doing a good old chat. And Marty's on the next video just being like,
Exposition Pascal Savage.
Imagine, say, me.
And they're still looking for a little bit more information, so they end up pricking another one of his henchmen.
Class Vendetta.
Yeah, Class Vendetta with the sodium pentothal. I wouldn't lie to you. It's the truth serum.
Bang.
But unfortunately, he's got his left and his right confused. And
I hate it when that happens with your rings. Yeah.
accidentally pricks himself with the
so
super
ridiculous.
muscle relaxant. And I think
Fine.
Yeah.
Fine. Oh, that's in the elevator letter.
the best part of this scene, though, is when he's trying to tell Boff he's in charge. He's like, slash, and the other guy's helping him. Slash.
Trying to say Savage or something. I don't know. It's just ridiculous.
Lorna comes in, knocks him out with a big old fire extinguisher.
Yes, the other guards that do come in to basically bust him off. And yeah, reveals that she's working with Interpol.
Yep.
And they decide, well, we're going to hit the party. I'm not sure what they're trying to get out of going into the party. I'm sure they're trying to
They
like,
just want to report back to Pegasus
Okay.
on what they've found.
basically,
So
yeah.
they feel they've got more concrete evidence that Pascal is evil. But they get a little bit lost, so they have to ask the guard that they thought they hit with the muscle relaxant that's actually been hit with the sodium pentothal. Left by the water fountain, right by the fire exit, then at the end of the elevator. Oh my God!
They knock him out. It's great. They quickly sort of getting a little bit closer. They get the white tux.
Yep.
Johnny's got on. Boff is in his suit, and Lorna has an evening dress on. And they enter the party despite the fact that Johnny cannot grasp a glass of champagne.
Yes, the muscle relaxant's still taking effect.
Fine.
Cracks the glass and then on the, is it the Secretary of State or Secretary of Defense maybe?
Yes, and then collapses on her, and Klaus Vendetta comes down and has a chat with Pascal, who immediately goes and has a discussion
with Pegasus.
And very quickly Pegasus has a go
pissed.
He's real peeved.
Reprimands him for pursuing Pascal, demotes him, and also suspends him.
Yeah, well, he says, like, basically, you're off the case, you're suspended, and when you're back, you're going back to your old rank, and I hope to God I never hear your name again.
Yeah, it's brutal. I like the symbolic rain here, too, where it's very sad, so the rain's playing in the background. The music is great, too.
It is really good. But they're moving to plan B, basically, because English knows too much.
They're worried that even though he has been taken off the case, that they need to cover their bases. So plan B is to hold the Queen's corgi hostage and get her to renounce the throne for not only her, but her entire bloodline.
Awful security at Buckingham Palace, I will say.
Oh, just terrible.
It's like, you just walks
Where
right
are
in.
the guards, she says.
Oh, where are the Jews and the guards? Where's my corgi? Oh, it's there at gunpoint.
But maybe one of my favourite Pascal moments is when it cuts to him afterwards and he's just talking to the Prime Minister about the fact that she's renouncing. He's like, you know what? Let me talk to her. It's like, it's done, Pascal.
We'll have a cup of tea and some scones. It'll be fine. It's like, we have actually managed to find out who the real heir is.
Well, who is it?
It's you. No! And then the jewels have been returned, and basically all is moving towards Pascal's coronation as the new King of England. So his plan's about to work. So Lorna, with Johnny watching the sort of broadcast about it, and then Lorna goes to visit Johnny.
She cranks up her Ocker accent to 11 to convince him. Oh my
goodness!
And he's a spent agent though. He's a little bit done, but after a bit of a scuffle, she convinces him to come along.
It's just the car.
On the car.
Oh, the car.
The car. They head to Savage's secret castle hideout,
which is it's a castle in, I think it's in Cornwall. I think
it's pretty rad.
It's pretty cool. But yeah, he's got criminals meeting there.
Yep.
To sort of reveal the next stage of his plan.
And we get my favorite flirty dialogue in the film. They stop off
so stupid
for the night.
Yeah, because it's like, oh, you make me want to, do things like what?
Say things, do things.
Like what? And it's like
punch in your face, man.
And Johnny's like, whoa.
But then she's like, but then as I got to know you, I want to say other things, do other things. Things involving plastic toys and soft cheese.
And she's like, what? What kind of weirdo are you, Johnny English?
Oh, it's so good. But no, then she's like, nah, thanks for being such a good bloke. Thanks for not taking advantage of me.
But he thinks he's telling her back off, and he's like, oh, okay.
The delivery there. Soft cheese?
Soft cheese? Just the hope in his voice. Is she also into plastics and soft cheese? You never know. We might have similar interests. I'm Johnny English. She's Lorna Australia. It's fine.
Good. Do you have that one written down?
Nah.
That's nice.
I'll rip it. That's
I
fine.
really like that. So they do eventually get to the castle, and Johnny decides to go up the pipe.
Up the chute?
The poop chute.
The poop chute. Because
I'm always careful. Donk. Smacks his head. Very good.
Classic Johnny. But yeah, basically work out that he's climbing up a sewerage pipe where all of the
Look, they don't call him Johnny for nothing.
Oh God! But yeah, basically, all the people in the toilet decide they're all having a number two break at the same time.
Poop.
Yep. Hey, solidarity, love that. Even with the criminals, Johnny is covered in poop and eventually makes his way up there.
Look, pull yourself together. It's only a bit of poo.
But yeah, basically, we get on to Pascal's in the middle of meeting with all the criminals.
Criminals, lawbreakers, There's just criminals.
The way he's delivering it's kind of like the speech that like Al Capone's doing in like The Untouchables, like when he's walking around the table, that kind of vibe. Anyway, they have the meeting, and basically Pascal's breaking down. They're going to get all of the criminals out of every other prison and turn England into the largest prison in the world. Shows it on a big old animation. And
I like the animation. It's pretty cool.
It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Johnny's listening in on the plan, though, and he's going to jump down and surprise him, but unfortunately, he leaned on the old microphone button.
Yes, and so they're revealing their plan. I love Pascal just like collapsing the armchair and just being like, yeah.
I like that he's kind of like, oh, that's not
bad plan.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Oh, that's pretty good.
Monsieur English, I am gobsmacked.
What a surprise. After Johnny jumps down, and then he's got Pascal at gunpoint, and he's like, Lorna! It's a really loud voice. Detective!
Lorna!
Not so long as there is breath in my body and a bullet in my gun.
Squelch. He still has not fired a gun in this movie.
Yeah.
And he never will.
He doesn't.
It's pretty funny. It's a good gag.
I like it.
Lorna's at gunpoint. He's like, I'm sorry, Johnny. I'm sorry, Johnny.
I'm sorry, mate.
I'm sorry, mate. I got bloody captured by the bloody guards. Yeah.
They get locked away. So it's Coronation Day, and I love the radio guy. Call us with the top 10 things you love about the French. We haven't had any calls yet, but here's the number again.
I think he says like, my bottom will be king of England before you, or whatever it is, which is great. But it's a good thing that Johnny's done some more like international expertise. But
Shaman throat
it's so stupid. It's like it's a specific whistle tone to unlock the door. It's like, Johnny, if you stop whistling, I'm into ultrasonic. And then Boff is there to save the day.
Boff, he says.
Boff! And then they basically crash the coronation. English becomes a bishop to intercept. And then for Wales, or for Scotland, I do. For Wales.
For Scotland, I do.
For Wales, I can't do a Welsh accent. For Wales, I do. For England, I do not.
I do not. It's quite a triumphant moment. I like this.
Rips the robe off and
got a couple of wins in this.
Got him at gunpoint again.
And he starts surmising Pascal's plan, but he still thinks that the Archbishop is fake in this version of the plan, and that is his downfall.
Yes,
Shut it, Frenchie. I'll go wherever I damn well please.
And he tries to rip the Archbishop's face off. That's not going to work. It's like, well, you can't take away that tattoo.
Do you or do you not
have
tattooed on your bottom the words, Jesus is coming, look busy. Are you insane? Right, let's see then.
And they just
pulls it down. I love the cut to the Australians laughing.
Yeah, in the desert for like 1 second. And basically his plan is spoiled. Is just like, I'm still not going to let you be king. It's like, I'll get you taken away. And there's like, Boff, play the clip. And Boff's in the TV station with the news.
Taking a disc from Savage's headquarters, but took the wrong disc. And it's the disc that he used to bug Johnny's apartment. And we get, you're so hot, teasing me.
Yes, a bit of ABBA with the rubber ducks.
The thrusting as well.
It's
so good.
The shower mask on, he's like,
scares. It's very Mr. Bean.
Oh, the whole thing is very Mr. Bean with like the rubber ducks and everything.
But nothing is better than when he's watching in horror and he just starts singing along with it. But fortunately, it's a good enough distraction for him to race off, so he's no longer apprehended, and he doubles back and ends up Tarzaning his way down and stealing the crown off Savage.
Incredible.
And that is the last straw. Pascal snaps.
He cracks it. He goes nuts. I'm sick of pretending that I like the English and just lets them have it.
Yeah, exactly. Completely takes out everyone in the room verbally, and he's shooting at Johnny, shoots him, he drops the crown again, and like forcing them to put it on him at gunpoint. My Franklin French acid can! And
basically, Johnny falls off at the right time just as he's about to be coronated, so we now have King Johnny English.
Amazing. Arrest that man!
And take him away!
When he's doing like the little bobble of his head.
It's just so good.
It's awesome. Love it so much.
And then we get to the end of the film. Basically, Johnny gets knighted.
Yep, the Queen reclaims the throne. I hadn't noticed this before. They specifically say that Pascal is going to get the death penalty.
Yeah, but then he's like, he's volunteered to donate his brain to the study of like hypomanic schizophrenia, which is just hilarious. Again, another gag I definitely would have known when I watched this in 2003. But very good. And then we get a classic again, like this homage to the Bond films, and again in a similar location to where they're driving around. I think it's like in Monte Carlo in France, like the start of Goldeneye, and south of France, and even the music sounds like No One Does It Better. Like if you could play both of them at the same time, it's so close.
Nobody does it better.
Which is from On Her Majesty's Secret Service. And yeah, similar kind of vibes. And they get the champagne out. It's like, oh, Johnny. And then...
Oh, Johnny.
Oh, Johnny. Johnny! And then because he accidentally ejects her. And we get the theme again. Lands in the pool with Boff who's chilling. But who else is there chilling at the side? Like,
The assailant.
And that's Johnny English.
It's really good. I have seen the 2 sequels. You haven't seen either of them?
No, I haven't seen any of them.
I think...
Would you agree with the sentiment of our students saying that you should watch them?
Not necessarily. Like, there's some fun moments in them, but do not go into them thinking they are anywhere close to this one. They really lean into the silliness more.
Okay.
And yeah, you don't get as many like nice, cool moments, and the jokes just don't seem as silly as this movie is. There is a level of sophistication to the way that they parody the Bond films.
It's quite smart.
Yeah, and I don't think that really translates across to the other two.
Fair.
Cool. Shall we move on to 5 favorites?
Let's do it.
We got 5 favorites. Above all else. We got 5 favorites that we think are top shelf.
Cool. So for our 5 favorites today, we are looking at spy films, and I found this really tricky to narrow it down to just 5. I did want to tip my cap to Johnny English, another parody film that was very, very close but just missed out was the original Austin Powers as well.
Yeah, baby.
And finally, The Man from U.N.C.L.E. I had to mention all 3 of those because I so desperately wanted to put them on the list, but they just missed it by that much.
I had a couple of honourable mentions too.
Please.
Argo, which is a film I really enjoy.
That is a great film.
With,
I wouldn't necessarily think of it as a spy film, but of course it is, yeah.
It's a really, really fun taut thriller, but also with some really good sort of... comedy in it. Alan Arkin's performance particularly was really strong, and The Bourne Identity didn't make my top 5. I wouldn't say I'm the biggest Bourne fan. I don't love that era of action movies and the fact that it influenced everyone to film like this going through an action scene.
Yeah.
I don't love that. I still
it's
like the first
it's not
film.
bad in the first film. Yeah, it gets worse. It's almost like they're parodying themselves in the sequel films.
Yeah, it gets a bit ridiculous with that whole sort of Paul Greengrass vibe that bled over into a lot of other action films as well at the time. So I'm glad we're out of that period of time.
Yeah, fair.
But yeah, and Body of Lies is another film, kind of in the same vein, but an underrated film, I think. Leo DiCaprio is quite good in it. I think Leo and Russell Crowe. And it's a Ridley Scott film. I don't mind that film at all, but didn't quite make my 5. I've definitely leaned into a kind of a subgenre of spy movies, I think, with my 5.
Okay.
I haven't gone anything too cerebral because maybe I haven't seen a lot of them. But I've definitely gone with what are the spy films that I've had the most fun watching.
Nice. So.
Oh, actually, I will go one more honorable mention.
Yeah, please.
Spy. This is my honorable mention with Melissa McCarthy.
Oh, and Jason Statham,
who's parodying himself basically in that film.
I think he's really good in it. The film as a whole just doesn't land for me.
That's fair.
Yeah, like I feel like there's some really fun moments in it, but I probably wouldn't rewatch it.
That's fair. I haven't. That's why it was an honorable mention.
Yeah, fair. Totally fair.
Go for it.
It's a dishonorable mention for me. Okay. No. I would like to kick things off. We were talking about, obviously, we were going to put a Bond film on our lists, both of us, and you were like, I don't think we're going to have the same Bond film. And I was a little shocked you said that. The big reveal is mine's Goldeneye.
Okay, so we do have the same one.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Let's talk about Goldeneye.
Yeah, I I have
wasn't sure.
shouted my appreciation for Goldeneye before, although you were still umming and ahhing about your choice the other day, so perhaps you hadn't locked this in.
I did have. I was debating between Goldfinger. That's definitely my favourite Connery film.
Oh yes.
On Her Majesty's Secret Service, I only recently saw last year when I was completing basically my Bond films, and that film is very much the black sheep of the Bond franchise. Obviously, being the only film that has a solitary appearance from the actor playing James Bond. But I think it's incredibly deep, and it gives us a lot of. It's definitely the most detailed character performance of James Bond before the Craig films, like comfortably.
Yeah, fair.
And also the one I probably like. I really like Roger Moore's era of Bond films to a degree.
I really like the cheesy Bond.
Yeah, like View to a Kill would be up there, particularly for Christopher Walken's performance, and also Man with the Golden Gun, because Christopher Lee is phenomenal in that film. But Goldeneye is also my favourite, because Pierce is my favourite Bond.
Pierce is my favourite Bond too, and I think he's hampered by poor films. Tomorrow Never Dies is okay.
Yeah,
there's some
underrated,
good things
I think.
in that.
Yeah.
I love the remote control car in that.
That's fun.
But Goldeneye just feels like a completely different film to the rest of his films. It doesn't have the cheesiness that the others do. The others feel like they're steering back into more of the Connery era of like one-liners and like overly sexualizing the women.
Well, and it's quite like, so you look at the different eras of the Bond films, like how dark and personal like License to Kill was with Timothy Dalton, which is another one of my favorites. And Goldeneye felt like a really good blend between sort of what Pierce Brosnan provides in terms of his comedy chops and how like his one-liners and how charming he can be, but also with some of the coldness of what Dalton provides, particularly in License to Kill, which is why I think Goldeneye is so perfect. It really blends a lot of what I like about Bond as a character, but also as a film franchise. It gets all the ingredients right together.
And it draws you in straight away. The bungee jump at the beginning.
So good.
It's also great, like that camaraderie between him and Sean Bean, and the fact that the flip of Alec as well. It's also probably a little more favorable to me as well because I adored the game, the Nintendo 64 game. So it just has a really special place in my heart. But this is one of my most rewatched James Bond films for sure.
Probably one of my most rewatched films, to be honest. I've watched Goldeneye very frequently. So, yeah, it's just great. All the set pieces are great. The gadgets are good.
Yes.
All the supporting cast are great. I really love Femke Jensen in this film. She's
really good. I got another Femke Jensen film on my list.
She really does crush it.
Good. Nice.
Alan Cumming.
I am invincible.
I forget the actress who plays Natalia Simonova. I apologize.
She's one of the best Bond girls.
She's incredible.
Really
Robbie
good.
Coltrane as well.
Yes.
But yeah, just the film overall is genuinely superb.
Plus,
we get Dame Judi Dench for the first time as well.
That's true. That's very true. But love that line where he's like, buy me a pint, at the start of the film.
Closing time, James. Last score. Buy me a pint.
Put it in.
I will. I will.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. All you, mate.
Cool. My other one on the list, I guess, we'll outside of Goldeneye, is Burn After Reading. The Coen Brothers film.
Good shout.
I love this film. It's so funny.
More John Malkovich.
Yeah, I love John Malkovich. Clearly, it's just a really funny film. I remember watching it for the first time, and it's like a lot. And I think particularly as well, like I've got in my head sort of I'd definitely sort of typecast sort of like, oh, here's another Brad Pitt movie and here's another George Clooney movie.
Okay.
And they play so against type, particularly Brad Pitt. It's one of the best performances of his career, I think.
I think it's the best Coen Brothers film.
I'll probably agree with that as well. Francis McDormand, Richard Jenkins, Tilda Swinton. Like, everyone's just firing. Like, and it got sort of, like, basically it's like, important documentation or like sort of from a CIA operative has gone missing in a gym bag. And then like the way like I love Brad Pitt when he's in the car with John Malkovich, like, Osborne Cox. He just kind of just keeps repeating the line. It's just like, and John Malkovich's like, what are you doing? It's just so stupid, like the quick deaths and stuff at the end.
Yes.
Like the fact that they keep sort of like building towards George Clooney building something destructive and like evil in his basement.
Yeah.
It's just so stupid. As a spy film, and it's just great. And I think, Coen Brothers firing on all cylinders here. It's a very underrated film, I think. Sort of from like, I guess late 2000, 2009 this film came out. So, if you haven't seen Burn After Reading, highly recommend.
Nice, very nice. As I said, I got another one on the list that's got Famke Janssen in it, and that is I Spy.
Oh, of course.
The Eddie Murphy, Owen Wilson buddy cop film. So good. There was an era of spy films or like action films where they pair up someone who's in the field with like a celebrity.
Yeah.
And this is exactly that. So Eddie Murphy is a boxer that has to join Owen Wilson so that his star status can get him into a bunch of events. But just the comedy between the two of them, like Eddie Murphy's always so quick, but Owen Wilson is keeping up with him. I said that line the other day that, no, I don't want to be like Carlos, but I can't help but notice my equipment looks like you got it from Radio Shack in 1962.
It's just so good. It's like it comes at a real like peak time for like Owen Wilson doing like a lot of action comedy.
Yes.
And he's really, really good at doing those movies.
Yes, and Famke Janssen is incredible in this as well. Yeah. Flip-flopping agent, double agent, triple agent.
Baby, I woke up this morning, a sea was storming inside of me. See that?
Baby, when I woke up this morning, I felt like there was a sea storming inside of me.
It's so funny. I haven't watched I Spy in a really long time. I'm going to check back in.
It's kind of hard to come by.
Yeah, doesn't like find on the old streams.
Yeah.
Okay. Might have to buy Blu-ray. My next film is called Kingsman.
Oh, that's my next one.
No, it's right.
Good shout.
This is a brilliant
Good
film.
shout.
Like in terms of, I love a good action adventure comedy.
None of this Golden Rings nonsense.
The Golden Circle.
Exactly.
The Golden Circle. It's a great juice. I don't mind the second one, but it's not nearly as good as the first one. I still remember watching this in cinemas. And I went and watched this with my family, and we're just like, just had the best time watching it. Like Matthew Vaughn's like direction is great, and it's really kinetic sort of action. It's funny. Taron Egerton, obviously, this is where this is his first major film role, and his career skyrocketed as a result of this film as Exy.
The character is so likable.
Yeah. And then
it's
you
a real underdog story.
100%. Mark Strong's brilliant in this. You get Colin Firth, who's like just so good.
Samuel L. Jackson with
the Liffey
of a voice.
We get Sophia Boutella in her film debut as well. It's just a
Mark Hamill.
Oh yeah, we do get Mark Hamill. He's really, really good. Michael Caine. After he just before you, dirty little. So good. And yeah, basically cucks it. It's just great. Like all the action set pieces work really well. I love how fluid everything feels. Like the church scene is incredible.
Yeah. The Wana that's not really a Wana, but again though, it's like the Bourne films are responsible for that style of action.
Yep.
This spawned a bunch of people trying to replicate this one shot, and it was never done the same way again, including by Vaughn himself, trying to do it in the sequel and in some of his other films as well.
Oh, did he do it in Argyle?
Yeah, but
I haven't watched Argyle. Argyle wasn't on the list. A notable omission.
Yuckers.
Haven't watched it. No,
one of the worst films. Made worse because I have such high expectations.
Oh, everyone was buzzing for that film. And look, the cast. Anyway, we're not going to spend time talking about a poor Matthew Vaughn film.
I don't have all that much to add to your description. I just think it, again, like Johnny English, feels like a love letter to Bond.
Yep. And
all of the elements really just fall together. And I agree the second one is still okay. Like I watched the sequel the other night.
Pedro Pascal.
Yes, Pedro Pascal before I knew who Pedro Pascal was.
Before anyone did.
And I just think the second one makes some really poor choices in terms of some of the plot elements or like bringing characters back from the dead. And it just takes away some of the stakes that you feel in the first film. So yeah, there's some disappointing things about the second film, but it's still an enjoyable enough watch.
Honestly, probably another honorable mention would be The Kingsman, because I actually like the prequel quite a bit.
Oh, really? Yeah. I think that's maybe the third of three in terms of quality.
I'd prefer it for the Golden, I think.
There you go.
So, anyway, Kingsman.
Nice.
You can go next.
Next up, I'm going to talk Mission Impossible. Very topical with the latest one being released this year. I'm going to go with MI1. So I've spoken about this before. That is my favorite Mission Impossible film. A lot of people are baffled with the selection because obviously the stunts get bigger and better and the casts get bigger and better.
But that's not what you're about.
It's not what I'm about. Especially for a spy film, I want paranoia and suspense and mystery. And the first film, it never gets better than that. One of the things that I loved so much about Dead Reckoning Part 1 was the fact that they recaptured some of that paranoia, the Brian De Palma style, with the heavy Dutch tilts and the who can you trust and the panic and trying to get somewhere before something terrible happens. It's all really, really good. And that first film, even the first mission where the team basically gets picked off one by one of my favorite sequences in a film ever. It's incredible. So yeah, really cool to think that they had taken this franchise that seemed a little bit tired and then just completely revamped it, and it's been going for all this time. They say it might be ending with this one that came out this week, but I guess time will tell if that's actually the case.
Very true. Well, I'm going to go with my Mission Impossible entry on the franchise, and that's number 3. So I really, really love MI3. Sometimes it's a bit of a black sheep of the family. Well, probably not as much as Mission Impossible 2.
Yeah.
As much as I do love a John Woo film.
Woo!
Yeah, John Woo. But I love MI3, and a lot of it starts, well, basically the cold open is incredible.
Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yeah, he's just incredible. Like he's a very sorely missed actor because he's a damn good actor. And seeing him play the villain, Owen Davian, in this film is probably one of my favorite movie villains of all time.
Where's the rabbit's foot? Just like the coldness in his voice.
Yeah, and it's just like I'm going to find you, your girlfriend, your wife, and we're going to kill her.
Yeah.
It just and then the whole. Even and I think Tom Cruise is really good in his performance as well. He goes blow for blow with Seymour Hoffman across the entire film.
Yo, see less Hoffman, am I right?
Good. Good. One of the other things that's really fun is when obviously when the masks come into things, you've got Tom Cruise playing or Philip Seymour Hoffman playing Tom Cruise playing him.
Yes.
And it's so cool.
Yeah, it really is.
I really like that part of it. I like all the action set pieces we get.
The way they do the morph between the two of them, and he's holding him, he's like, thanks, in Tom Cruise's voice.
It's
great.
It's just
really
excellent.
Good.
Thanks.
I like all the action set pieces in this film. I like the personal stakes that this film has. I think that Tom Cruise and Michelle Monaghan play off each other really well.
Yep.
And they start to get more of sort of the big team. We get Simon Pegg's introduction for the first time. He's not in it as much, but he definitely proves to be
Describes the computers as crispy.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
Look, this one's got a hole in it and stuff.
He's really good sort of for the remainder of the franchise. I like Jonathan Rhys-Meyers. And I like J.J. Abrams' direction during this film. And then this is also released at a time where J.J. Abrams he was just getting into sort of directing major motion pictures coming from TV. And I think that, I really like his style, his film. And I like that sort of the distinct styles across all the different Mission Impossible films.
Is Jonathan Rhys-Meyers the one from Bend It Like Beckham?
Yeah.
Yeah. All I ever do is copy in his Irish accent.
That's the one.
Yeah.
That's the one. But I really love Mission Impossible 3. It's actually the first Mission Impossible film I ever watched. So
there you go.
And it definitely got me hooked in the franchise.
Nice. You seen the new one this week?
I'm not sure if we'll see it this week, but I'll see it shortly.
I'm very pumped to see it. Number 5 on my list is North by Northwest.
Oh, a classic.
Coming off the back of last week, I had to do a Cary Grant film. North by Northwest is not my favorite Cary Grant film. Charade is, of course, my favorite, but this one is a very close second. I love this film. It's probably in my top 2 Hitchcock films as well. This one and Vertigo are both right up there. But again, like all the things we said about Charade last week, this one has the mystery element to it, but it also has the comedic element and that lighthearted humor that only Cary Grant can balance in that way. And it's just so much fun. It's also got James Mason in it as well, and he's a very good bad guy. He's got that very distinct bad guy voice as well, the George Kaplan way that he pronounces things. But yeah, there's just I like in my spy films, my mystery films, very complicated webs of ulterior motives and plots on plots on plots. And you're like, what is going on here? And the whole film, there's just layers that you have to dig through and try and piece together. And he's really confused in it, but you're confused too. And it's fun when all of the reveals finally do come into play. So yeah, North by Northwest, really, really fun film and a great set piece at the end with them on top of Mount Rushmore.
It's pretty iconic. Nice one. Good call. Last one I'm going to go with to bring my 5 favourite spy films to a close is a sequel in a franchise that has ranging quality, I will say. But I definitely like the second one the best, and that is Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me.
Ah, nice.
Yep,
Yeah.
so I really, this is my favourite Austin Powers film.
Okay, number 2 is your favourite.
Yep.
I think that's probably pretty consistent with the majority, to be fair.
I think, I really like...
One's always been at the top of the list for me.
Okay.
With less characters, like once he starts playing like You Fat Bastard and...
That's why Gold Member's a bit too much.
Too much, yeah.
But no, I like the introduction of Fat Bastard, and we get obviously Mini-Me in this one as well.
Yep.
Heather Graham, I think, is brilliant in this film. I really like her playing opposite Mike Myers. Yeah, I like the story. It's been a while actually since I went back and watched all 3. I'd be interested to see if I did a similar ranking or not. But had to get an Austin Powers one in there. I love how much it plays with the traditional concept of Bond and really sort of pokes fun at them. It's just ridiculous, and I love it. So yeah,
nice, very good shout. I'm glad that Austin Powers got up onto one of our lists.
Yes.
Cool. Well, as always, guys, please do remember to like, subscribe, share it around. We've done quite a few vid pods in a row. I think we've got another one next week as well. And then let's go back to audio for a while, because he's taking some time to put together. But if you do prefer the video pod, please do comment, because that's how we know it's worth doing them, if you guys are enjoying them more than the audio ones. Besides that, if you've got some new segment ideas, we're looking to mix
some more
up...
segmentos?
Yeah, we've kind of pulled things back a little bit. We're doing one additional segment on top of our film discussion now. So if you have something specific that you want to see in a certain week, then throw it out there and we can try and mix things up for you guys.
Yeah, that sounds like a good plan.
Nice. And on that note, we got to head off. Mr. Boylan and I are a spent force. But thank you very much, guys, and we'll catch you at the next film club.
With a toothbrush and a packet of sherbet lemons.
Lemons.